became the only Heisman Trophy winner to play in the NBA, a first-round pick by the New York Knicks in '94, played 11 seasons in the league. What's the best way to describe your experience playing for that franchise in that city?
Well, it was definitely fun. It gave me a bit even bigger platform, being a Heisman Trophy winner and playing in the NBA in New York, where a place where I said that I would never live. And so
How
God
come?
was because it was, when we went there for the Heisman, there was a lot of hustle and bustle. It's fast paced, and I'm from Thomasville, Georgia, and ended up in Tallahassee, which is a little bit bigger than Thomasville, and then going to New York, that's even bigger than both. That's twice as big, or even triple the size of Tallahassee and Thomasville. So it just felt like it was too fast for me, and I didn't know if I could handle that lifestyle. But God said, here's your job. This is where you're going, and I enjoyed it. It was a great 9.5 years to be able to navigate, to be able to have a platform, to be able to share what God had blessed me with.
Well, on the gridiron, you played for Bobby Bowden. In basketball, Pat Riley, Don Nelson, Jeff Van Gundy, Greg Popovich. Who was the toughest among that group to play for? Who was the most fun to play for?
There's a lot of great coaches. I learned a lot from all of them. Coach Riley was tough because it was my rookie year, and he taught me a lot. I didn't understand at the time, but he taught me a lot about being patient, about work ethic, all those things that you really can't, as a young player, you don't understand at the time. And so I was blessed to be able to have, Coach Jeff Van Gundy be my rookie, sort of my rookie mentor, skill development coach. And so Riley was the one that was tough on me, and Coach Pop, because one was at the beginning of my career and one was at the end of my career, and they both taught me great lessons. And so, I was grateful to be able to have those two coaches. But I guess the one that would be the most fun to play for would be Jeff Van Gundy, because he was the one that extended my NBA career by giving me an opportunity where, first of all, he helped me with my skill development. And then secondly, he gave me an opportunity to play his 6 years in New York, and we had some great success. And then he brought me on over in Houston when he went to Houston to play my last 3 years, and also gave me an opportunity, gave me a break in coaching. So if I'm going to be for, it's going to be for Jeff Van Gundy.
All right. Well, you also had Hall of Famers that you played with, and Patrick Ewing, Tim Duncan, Tracy McGrady, and Yao Ming. Do you have a favorite all-time teammate? Is it one of those guys or someone else?
Well, those are great guys, but the guy that I clicked with the most was Allen Houston. And so Allen and I, of course, Christian brothers, and we helped sharpen one another when I played, and also he helped me with most of the assists that I received in New York. So, but Allen's a great brother.
Now, I have to ask you about the '97 playoff game in Miami when you box out P.J. Brown. That sparked that massive melee. Is there any way to describe the intensity that existed within that Knicks-Heat rivalry? And you knew this question was coming, didn't you?
Yes, sir. That's always when people talk about the Knicks and the Miami Heat rivalry. Of course, that game, that play is always going to come up, and it was two coaches that were very similar in their style, and the two teams played the same way, and we were going to have these melees in a sense. During that time is when they kind of made the rules that are current today, as far as guys not leaving the bench, and that play in general was just an intense play. Boxing out low, he's taller than I was, and so people made it bigger than it was. But when it's all said and done, the rivalry was an intense rivalry, But PJ and I are really good friends, or friends. When it's all said and done, you have these intense battles on the floor, but PJ and I, have the same heart, and we knew during that time that it was just a part of the game.
During these quarantine times, I've heard that you've been on Instagram Live with your former teammate in the NBA, Monty Williams. Tell us how that experience has been for you. Is it something that you think you could get into even more once things return to normal?
The crazy part about it was a lot of people say, "Man, I didn't know you talked this much." But at one point, I didn't. But over the years, you learn, and being a public speaker now, you learn to tell your stories, which I have quite a few. But what really sparked all of this was just I was on with my buddy Allen Houston on his IG Live like a week ago, and we had a great time chopping it up, talking about old times and just talking about life in general. And I was like, man, this would be a great way to be able to get a message out, be able to talk to some of my old teammates and friends. So every Thursday on IG Live, I'll be bringing someone back from my past. Thursdays would be Throwback Thursday, so he's be mostly guys that I either played with or I know that have stories about our past. And then every Tuesday, we're looking to doing interviews of mainly Seminoles. We may have some outcasts, but mainly Seminoles and what they're doing on my Charlie's Chalk Talk.
Charlie Ward, it's been a real pleasure to chat with you, sir. We appreciate your time. You and your family stay safe, and thanks for joining us here on BNC.
I appreciate you having me on, and make sure you guys stay safe.